materials. And next, about the purpose for item by objective analysis is threefold. The first one is to determine the difficulty of each item for the groups. And the second one is to determine the difficulty of each objective for the groups. And then the last one is to determine the consistency with which the set of items within the objective measures learners' performance of the objective. And the next is learners' item by objective performance. From this data, the designer could infer that three. First one is the group selected was appropriate for the evaluations, and then the interactions cover skill not previously mastered by the groups, and the interactions was effective in improving learner skills. And next, there is a questions about this. Why the individual item information is required, and also for answering that questions, there are three reasons of that. The first one, item information can be useful in deciding whether there are particular problems with the item or whether it is effectively measuring the performance described in its corresponding objective. And next, individual item information can be used to identify the nature of the difficulties learners are having with the interactions. And the last reason, individual item data can be combined into indicate learners' performance on an objective and eventually on the entire test. It times for graphing learners' performances. There are two ways. The first one is to display data is through various graphing techniques. A graph may show the pre-test and post-test performance for each objective in the formative evaluation study. You may also want to graph the amount of time required to complete the instructional material as well as the amount of time required for the pre-test and post-test. And next, another graphing technique for summarizing formative evaluation data involves the instructional analysis chart. This procedure requires the determinations of the average pre-test and post-test performance of learners participating in the formative evaluations on each of the skills indicated on the instructional analysis chart. Here are about graphing learners' performances. And next, about other type of data. There are other kinds of data to summarize and analyze in addition to learners' performance on objective. The first, it has been found that a good way to summarize data from an attitude questionnaire. It kinds of indications on blank copy of the questionnaire on the presence of learners who choose each alternative to various questions. If you also request open-ended, general responses from the learners, then you can summarize them for each question. And next, another important type of data is the comments obtained from the learners, from other interactions involved in the formative evaluations, and from subject matter experts who react to the materials. Data and information that are collected in the performance context formative evaluations may have to be summarized in description sections, since it is almost possible to summarize these comments in tabular graphic forms. It is better to try relate each of these comments to the instructional materials themselves, or to the objective in the material or to which they refer. This comment can be written directly on a copy of the materials. And the final type data summary you may wish to prepare is related to any alternative approaches you may have used during either the small group or field trial evaluations. This data may be performance on specific test item, responses on attitude questionnaire, or even in indications of total learning times.